Hello folks, and welcome to another Sunday here in lovely sunny southern Tasmania. Today John and I are playing What a Tanker. I have rolled to be the British. We set the table up prior to rolling to see who we were. Now we are working off I can't see it at the moment, I'll have to get it off John in a second. We are working off a Ball Tank Wars scenario, and we're taking it just off the map that they provided. I've come out today because we haven't played World War II in a while. I've actually unfortunately turned up at John's place without my hedges or most of my walls or roads. But luckily, we've obviously agreed. Basically, John's got some of his hedges here. Any linear obstacle, so any of these type of trees and all of my orchard trees I've managed to put in, they are bocage, so they are going to need 2 move activation dice to get over, and they do block the line of sight until that tank is over them. So even though these look like open tree lines here, anywhere where they're joined up, and those walls over there, they are representing bocage. The only woods we've got are here and here. This dark area here is representing rubble. So it's going to be slower to move through there. This is 20 mil, by the way, using John's beautiful 20 mil tanks. What else have we got over here? All this area here is rubble because it's been heavily bombed. As you know, with What a Tanker, we do use the dashboard, so we need somewhere to put them. So this is all heavily bombed, and so rubble over here as well. Now, I'm coming on from this end. John's deployment is actually through here. So from the middle of the table, 12 inches backwards is where John deploys. So what we've chosen to do is we're using our sharp practice chips. John's got 3 tigers where he's put on 6 upturned markers. 3 of them represent his tanks. 3 of them are blinds. So I've actually acquired one of those dots. Once I acquire it, we turn it over, and no, it wasn't John's tank. This is actually a bombed out Panther. So I acquired it, I acquired it, only to find out it wasn't a live tank, and that's what we're going to do with all of these as well. And then those bombed out ones will remain on the table as terrain. So also every turn I have to get on a transport vehicle, which is going to move, I think, 6 inches or 2d6, something along those lines, along here, and I get points for every one that I get off the road. John gets points for every one he destroys, and likewise I think we both get points for enemy vehicles destroyed as well. So I always enjoy What a Tanker. It's a fun, fast game, and it's always good to be playing 20 mil because we just get a little bit more room on the table.
Absolutely.
Anyway, we'll keep you informed. We're really cracking on. I think we're on to our 3rd turn. 2 of my transports have come on. They originally come on 12 inches at the beginning of their first turn, and then they move with 2d6. John's guys are now all deployed and starting to move. That's Whitman, isn't it, John?
Yep.
Whitman.
Hands,
knees, books and daisy, I think it was. My guys, I've managed to get 2 of my Cromwells. Even though that one looks like a comet, it is actually a Cromwell for all intents and purposes today. Got them moving up pretty fast. I've got a Firefly ploughing through a cornfield on this side. 2 more Cromwells driving up through the middle, and another Firefly over here. Now he's stopped at the hedge, and he's going to need 2 move dice to get through that. Not the hedge, bocage, I should say. A little bit low, but yes, it is a bocage. He's going to need 2 drive dice in the same turn to actually be able to get over there. Put a bit of threat onto that tiger with a bit of luck. I love John's buildings. He's got a great collection of 20 mil models, but also 20 mil buildings as well.
Worked on.
So.
Okay.
And for considering we haven't played in a while, we've picked up pretty quickly, which tends to be the way with What a Tanker. We've cracked open some beers and having a great afternoon. And the British have already lost a tank. Michael Wittmann got some great moves in, appeared at the gate here with his 10 shots. He got 5 hits on my tank and I failed to save 4 of those hits. And with more critical and ordinary hits, that tank is now ablaze. We just put a little bit of the scares into this guy here. Oh, by the way, his tiger over here, peeking out of the woods, also put a round into my my tank. We've decided that into my truck. We've decided that each truck has 1 armor save, and that any hit on the truck is deemed to be a rare hit. Nasty. Finally, the British have got a hit. My lead Cromwell, that looks like a comet, and my other regular Cromwell that looks like a howitzer Cromwell have managed to get in behind and into the flank of one of the Tigers and destroy it. Michael Whitman here has really caused some damage on the 2 Cromwells here, destroying them both. You can see why he's an ace. My Firefly has managed to finally cross the bocage, tucked himself into a nice little area here, hopefully to cause a little bit of damage. I've now got 3 transports active on the road. Sorry, 4 transports active on the road and 1 that was being destroyed. And these 2 here are playing a bit of a cat and mouse, just waiting game. Remember, this is a bocage, so they can't see each other. My Firefly crossed at one point, got thrown back, so he's been thrown back. Now, he had the opportunity to cross. He got 2 drive dice, so he could have used it to cross. However, I didn't have anything to be able to shoot with, so I left it, bide my time, and just wait till I can get the right time to cross again. So these 2 units here are now freed up to maybe come down and have a go at maybe Michael Whitman. See how we go.
Okay. Oh, that sort of looks right.
As you can see here, Mr. Wadsley is putting the marker on Michael Whitman. This Firefly that had finally managed to break through the bocage, as you saw, and sat here, had a really good dice roll on that last one, which allowed, because he'd aimed and acquired and aimed in his last turn, meant that he could fire, reload, fire in this turn. However, he didn't need that second fire, because in that first one he rolled 4 critical hits. 4 critical hits and 2 ordinary hits because it was into the side. So those 4 dice there are the critical hits. These 2 here were the ordinary hits. John only saved 3 of them because there were 3 unsaved hits. Michael Whitman has now been destroyed, leaving John's Tiger over here as the sole remaining tank in his force. Hopefully I'll get a few more of my transports through now. Good fun so far.
Can't do anything.
Time's ticking away here. We've got the luxury of time today because we're not playing at the shop. We don't have to dash out at 4 o'clock. All of my transport vehicles, that includes the Scout here, it's not a AV for this game, it's just transport. They're all starting to get going. I've got one of my vehicles all out there, really pushing off into Normandy. Some wreckage around the place. 2 of my tanks, a Cromwell and a Firefly, taking on John's last remaining Tiger here. He's just lost a permanent dice. 2 of my tanks now are just going to push on up the road to try to cover the exit for any of my vehicles going there. Only 1 transport has been destroyed, apart from, and the rest of my tanks have been, or 2 tanks. And slowly now the transports are going to start flowing down the road freely. It's been a great game. I actually thought John was going to win when I lost these 2 tanks very early, but with some lucky dice rolls and some tag teaming, I managed to get 2 of his Tigers, including his command Tiger, destroyed. Changed the pace a little bit now. So 1 remaining Tiger. Let's see how it goes. End of the game, folks. John's declared my British the winners. I ended up getting 4 transports off the table and several more with really a free passage now to come through and get off the table. John had his 1 remaining Tiger, who's just destroyed my Sherman, my Firefly, but I had 2 of my others just hovering around him, just peppering him into his side. So eventually I was going to get a lucky shot. One mistake we did make a little late in the game is we realised that John wasn't, when I was hitting him from the rear and the side, as you see on these tigers. Tigers have heavy armour, so any shots on the side are deemed to be taken the same as front armour, and any shots in the rear, sorry, other way around, shots on the rear are deemed to be equivalent to side armour. So it might not have made too much of a difference, but yeah, obviously John got knocked out probably a little bit easier than he should have. This guy over here, we just couldn't get him. We were peppering him from the rear, from the front. This brave little firefly, he ended up with only 4 command dice, so he had a little bit of trouble getting some shots on. And he was just a sacrificial lamb, taking all the fire while the others were trying to get him from behind. But the highway through Normandy is open. Yeah. Anyway, great game. If you haven't played Water Tanker, I can highly recommend it. The only difference is we just draw chips as opposed to rolling dice and the like. Today we're using the cards, which we don't normally use, and they work really well. We find just drawing the sharp practice chips makes the game go just a little bit quicker. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. We may be playing this again next week or something totally different. Time will tell. Goodbye for now.